Hey everyone, Andrikats here, and today I will share with you how you can easily craft the Vial of the Sands. This is obviously a crafting mount, but what's special about it is that you are transforming into a drake mount, which allows you to carry one person on your back. You should also know that even though you must be an alchemist to craft it, you can use it regardless your professions, so you can post it on the auction house. I will walk you through each step on how you can craft it either for yourself or to sell it, so stay tuned. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe for more content and hit the notification bell. Let's start off with where you can find the recipe for it, which is the hardest thing to do, so let's just get it out of the way. Okay, first and foremost, before you get down with farming, make sure that you have learned the Cataclysm alchemy at least on level 1, so the recipe can drop for you. You should also know that you will eventually have to level it up all the way to 75 level in order to craft the mount, so you can do it from now and get done with it. The recipe has a small chance to be found inside the canopic jars, a common item which you can gather from Archeology and only from Tolvir Archeology dig sites in Uldum. The dig sites in Kalimdor can occur in a lot of zones, not only in Uldum, and they can be quite spread around the continent. So there's a lot of flying involved and add a ton of RNG on top of that, which in my opinion makes it a bit boring and a lot of time consuming. If you want to farm it by doing this method, then you can go ahead, but I can show you an easier and quicker way that does not involve surveying in Kalimdor, but instead in Pandaria. As a matter of fact, I have tried this method with 2 of my characters, so I know that it works. First thing you need to do is you have to level up your archaeology up to level 525, and you can do this quite easy by farming in the Broken Isles. And the reason behind choosing the Legion zones is because the dig sites stay in the same zone, thus making it very quick. When you complete an artifact, you can create a restored artifact, which you will see in a minute what it does. When you level up your archaeology all the way up to 525, then you need to reach Exalted with the Lorewalkers, which should take you about an hour. And this is not your typical reputation grind, instead you have to visit some monuments which are spread around Pandaria. These monuments are linked to achievements, and upon completing the achievement you will be mailed a scroll that begins a quest. You increase your reputation by both completing the achievements and turning in the scrolls. You can check this Wowhead guide indicating all of the locations of the monuments, which should make it quite easy for you. Once you reach Exalted, you need to go find Brann Bronzebeard at the Seat of Knowledge in Vale of Eternal Blossoms, right by Lorewalker Cho. Trade 2 restored artifacts for a manted artifact hunter's kit, which makes all Pandarian dig sites to appear only in town-long steps, and dread wastes for the next 24 hours. The dig sites will also all be manted, making this quicker and so much easier. Now you can start digging, create the completed Moku and manted artifacts and turn them into Bronzebeard in exchange for crates of Tolvir fragments. You can use these fragments to restore Tolvir artifacts to get the canopic jar for a chance at the mount recipe. To further speed up the farming process, you can use the Forger's Gloves, which cuts down the gathering time, including time needed to survey, by 50%. You can get the gloves by killing the burning berserkers in Timeless Isle. Now let's move on to the reagents you are going to need to craft the Vial of the Sands. First 2 are the Sands of Time and the Pyrium-Laced Crystalline Vial that can be bought from the innkeeper Yasmin in Uldum. Couple of things here. The normal price for these are 3k for each Sands of Time and 5k for the Pyrium Vial. But with the addition of the BFA version of Uldum, you can get a 20% discount if you are exalted with the faction Uldum Accord. This will lower the price of the Sands at 2.4k each and 4k for the Vial. If you also have a Goblin, you can get the discount regardless of your reputation status, because of their racial
best deals anywhere. For the other ingredients, if you want, you can just buy them off the auction house, but I usually don't go for it as they are extremely expensive on my realm. I mean, I might buy them when they get very cheap, which frankly it happens once in a blue moon, So I usually farm most of the ingredients myself, so I will give you a few tips on how you can do it as well. Starting with Truegold, you need 3 Pyrium Bars, 10 Volatile Fire, 10 Air and 10 Water to craft 1 Truegold, and multiply that by 12 since you need a total of 12 Truegolds to craft 1 Vial of the Sands. And before you go out and start farming, make sure to use Endarkment Firewater to speed up the gathering time in the Cataclysm zones. This includes herbalism and mining. Now there are 2 methods to craft the Pyrium Bars. First method is by farming Pyrium deposits and smelting the ore to craft the bar, but Pyrite deposit is basically the rare spawn of the Elementium deposit, so it's a bit of a slow grind. So what I have been doing instead is I transmute Elementium Bar and Volatile Earth into Pyrium Bar. Uldum is a great place to farm Elementium, and of course you can mine whatever pyrite deposit you find along the way. A Volatile Earth can be found when you are mining, so you will eventually get it. The only downside with this is that it has a daily cooldown, so you can get 3 Pyrium Bars per day. If you want, you can level up more alchemist alts and get more per day. Volatile fire can be found either by fishing in the pools of fire next to the Firelands entrance in Mount Hyjal, or from killing mobs. Because I easily get bored with fishing, I choose to farm mobs, and specifically the flame terrors along Ashen Lake. If you can't see the mobs, it means that you are in a different phase and you have to complete some quests in the zone. I have a link in the description box on what quest lines you need to focus, so you can check it out. These mobs respawn very quickly, so you will probably never run out of mobs to kill. I got 120 volatiles in around 30 minutes, so that's not too bad. I also recommend using the potion of treasure finding, because with each mob you kill, you have a chance to receive a tiny treasure chest which contains volatiles, ores, clothes and many more. Moving on to Volatile Air, this drops from the mobs inside the dungeon Vortex Pinnacle. It's best to do it in normal difficulty, and what I do is I kill everything up to the second boss, then I jump down to teleport to the entrance, I go out, reset it and repeat. It usually takes me 3 runs to gather all of the required volatiles. If you are also missing the mount from the second boss, as I do, it's a good farm because you are also working towards that. Next is Volatile Water, and the best place to farm this is by killing the matted water elementals, which can be found along the Vale River in the Twilight Highlands. Don't forget to use the potion of treasure finding for the extra drops. Same as the Volatile Fire, it took me around 30 minutes to gather 120 Volatile Water, along with other goodies, some greens, volatile life and more. You also need to craft 2 types of flasks. Again, you have a choice here. You can either buy them straight off the auction house, or what I think is more profitable is if you can find the time and, I don't know, spend around 1 hour to farm all of the herbs and craft them yourself. Let's see what are the mats for each flask. Okay, Flask of the Winds needs 8 Azhara's Veil and 8 Whiptails and 8 Volatile Life, so a total of 64 of each one because we need to craft 8 flasks for the mount. Volatile Life can be found while gathering herbs. Azhara's Veil is located in Tolpara Peninsula and you can find it underwater, so you can easily find it in the rivers and by the Pirate Cove in the water. Whiptail can be found alongside the river in Uldum in both timelines, and this is a great farm for gathering volatile life as well. Now for the Flask of Titanic Strength you will need again Volatile Life, Whiptail and Cinderbloom. For farming Cinderbloom I recommend Mount Hyjal, although it can be found in the other zones as well, but in a lower degree. 10 minutes it was enough to gather all 64 Cinderbloom in Mount Hyjal. For Whiptail and Volatile Life farm, again go in Uldum as I mentioned before. And last but not least, you will need 8 Deepstone Oils. To craft one oil you need just one albino cavefish, and it can actually yield 1 or 2 Deepstone Oils. You can buy it off the auction house again, but overall I will say farm the fish yourself so the profit is more efficient. You can find the fish in Deep Home, and a great place I found is in this open cave right here. You need to fish out of the albino cave fish schools. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes, to be honest. It's quite fast. So overall, you will need this amount of mats to craft one Vial of the Sands. You will need 23.2k gold to buy the vendor mats with a discount on, and from there depends on what you are farming yourself or buying straight from the auction house. In my realm right now it goes around 100k in gold, and I'm on a high populated server in EU if you want to compare. The region sell rate is at 0.12, which I will say it's high, as I see maximum 8 vials posted on the auction house at a given time. Remember, it's just one mount, so I will say it's quite easy to get rid of it. Like if we compare it to the other mounts currently on the auction house, the BFA ones are having much lower sell rate, same with the holidays mount. So again, you might have to repost it a few times before you sell it, depending on the competition in your realm and the undercut that's been going on. Let's check some of my previous sales. So overall I have sold 18 of them, and almost all of my sales are from BFA. I think it was when I was trying to get my Brutosaur and I was more actively posting on the auction house. But anyway, as you can see, I sold one today at the price of 95k gold because of the undercut. The price has gone a lot higher actually since the last time I checked, at least on my realm. I found also this site if you want to see how's your realm doing at the moment. You can type your item's name here, change your region or realm's name, and you can see how much it will cost you if you buy all of the ingredients from the auction house, without obviously having to log into game, and see how many are sold and at what rate. You can also check TSM's site to figure out how's your realm doing compared to the region market. Like as you can see, my realm is a bit more expensive than the Europe market value, though there is a lot of competition, so I usually need to repost it a few times until I manage to sell it. And that's all about it. Does it take a lot of time to farm all of the mats? Yeah, but remember, you can flip the mats or you can sell them as raw material. You can also buy the mats when they are at their cheapest and sell it when it gets more expensive. There are actually a ton of stuff you can do to make gold, which revolves around this mount. So yeah, if you got any more questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more content and hit that notification bell. Don't forget to drop a like if you have found this video helpful. Good luck with whatever you're doing, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!